Okay, so this video is going to probably piss off a lot of people, and I'm okay with that. Now, you can call me racist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, I don't know, sheep-phobic, whatever you want to. In the comments below, that's perfectly fine. Hit that like button or the dislike button, whichever one pleases you the most. So I have my good friend here, the American Heritage Dictionary. This one is, I forgot what year this is from, year 2000. Now, it's not very old, right? It is 17 years old, which I guess I'm dating myself, aren't I? But I think it's important that we go back and we look at older dictionaries now that Google, we know, cannot be trusted at all. They are changing the definition of words, and we have to be very, very careful with that. So the title of this video, as you know, is Hispanic is not a race. So first, I want to clarify the statement. I qualify as both Hispanic and Latino, and I also consider myself Caucasian. Now, you can ask yourself, how the hell could you consider yourself Caucasian if you're Hispanic or Latino? Well, that's because most people are morons and don't know what Hispanic and Latino are. Or my sister and I have this I guess, unfixable argument because she speaks with a perfect English accent. But when she says Latino, she goes like, I am a Latina woman. Can't really understand that. There's just this illogical pride that exists there. But you know what? We need to begin every good discussion with a definition. So I'm going to read to you the definition for race as is in the dictionary. Now, it says race, a local geographic or global human population distinguished as a more or less distinct group by genetically transmitted physical characteristics. Genetically transmitted physical characteristics. This, you know what, let's go, because there's 2 points, but let's go with that one. Okay. Actually, you know what? No, let me read the second one because I'm going to explain to you what Hispanic and Latino is, and then we'll come back to this one. Number 2 is a group of people united or classified together on the basis of common history, nationality, or geographic distribution. Okay, so now, what is Hispanic? Hispanic is anybody whose descendants come from the Iberian Peninsula. You don't know what the Iberian Peninsula was, or is. During the Greek times, long ago, the Iberian Peninsula is what is today called Spain and Portugal, mainly, and actually a little tiny bit of France as well. So in the Greek times, they used to call the Iberian Peninsula Iberus, or the people Iberus that came from that area, and I believe that was the second largest river of that time. And it was the river Iberus, and the people were the Iberus people that lived there. And this is why the Greeks called them the Iberu, or the Iberian Peninsula. And of course, we have Latin that is derived from the Proto-European languages that splintered off. And then after that Latin, we have Spanish, Portuguese, French, Romanian, and so forth, right? These are called the Romance languages. Anybody who is a derivative of Latin, right? Sorry, anybody who's not, actually that's, okay, we'll put it this way. Anybody who's a derivative of Latin, they're called Latino, right? Anybody who is genetically from the Iberian Peninsula is Hispanic. I speak Spanish as a first language, and my great-grandparents were from Spain. And they were also from Scotland, but that's a whole nother story, right? So therefore, I qualify as both Hispanic and Latino. But that's not why people consider me Hispanic or Latino. They consider me that today because I was born in Puerto Rico. And they say, oh, well, Puerto Rico, that's Hispanic, just like Cuba and just like Haiti and just like Dominican Republic. And you may say, Haiti, Hispanic? Yeah, they speak French. Yeah, they're Hispanic because, well, anyway, they also, a lot of, it's a mix, right? Because half of them were slaves from Africa and the other half were, the slave owners, and part of it were the native population. So there's an amalgamation there. Now, when the reason I say Hispanic is not a race, Okay? Hispanic is not a race. Remember the first one. The first one said genetically transmitted physical characteristics. You're kidding me, right? You're saying Mexicans look like Puerto Ricans? You're saying Puerto Ricans look like Peruvians? Have you seen pictures? No. Not to mention that technically, Quebec should be Hispanic and Latino too. Would you call them? Would you say that they have genetic characteristics? Okay, fine. Let's go to the second one. The second one says, a group of people united or classified together on the basis of common history and nationality or geographic distribution. Okay, geographic distribution. You can't make that argument because you can't say South America, Central America, the Caribbean, and Mexico are all Latino or Hispanic. Wait, why Mexico then? That's in North America. Oh, so then why aren't Canadians and Americans Hispanic? They share geographic distribution. No, because they're white. Really? Put a pin on that one for a second there, because I'm pretty sure all the Spanish people that went to South America and got all them women pregnant, I'm pretty sure they were white too. And in fact, a lot of people, a disturbing amount of people in the mainstream media of South American countries are blonde-haired and blue-eyed. Well, actually, they're white-haired, blue-eyed now because they're a little older. Especially that the guy from Mexico, from Univision. He talks about racism, but he's white, gray hair, blue eyes. I swear, if you look at his picture, he looks like he's from Spain. Okay. The other is a shared common history. Okay, fair enough. This is where you could argue that in the beginning, African Americans, or can't call them African Americans, Africans that were brought to the New World were not a race, because African is not a race, right? There are many different kinds of Africans, like Egyptians, right? Egyptians don't look anything like South Africans or people from the Congo. Africa's huge. So to say you're African, you're an idiot, right? You can be Ghanan or you can forgive me, I don't know all the countries in Africa and I'm never going to learn too many. All right. But today you can argue that African Americans are a race. You can easily argue that because they have a shared common history. And there's been enough genetic mixing that now you could probably argue that the characteristics are transferred, right? But you can't argue that with Hispanic. You simply cannot argue that. You cannot argue that with Latino because, again, Latino is anybody whose language is derived from Latin. Ergo, all the French people should be considered Latino. And I know a bunch of people are going to say, oh, no, that's not true. You don't know your history. No, that's actually what the word means. So, anyway, this is, so why do I say, get one of these, all right? Why do I say that I consider myself Caucasian? Well, whenever they say, well, what's your race? I can never put Hispanic or Latino for those reasons, especially when some of the government forms put Hispanic and Latino as an option. Like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm going to check. Sir, please only check one. Other, right? So I can't do that. I just can't. Look, I consider myself Caucasian for this reason. My grandparents were Puerto Rican on my father's side. On my mother's side, my grandfather was Cuban and my grandmother was Irish. Okay. However, if you go to my great-grandparents, which is important, right? You go 3 generations, great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, and then yourself, which I would be the 4th generation, because that affects you more genetically. You're closer genetically to that. Well, my great-grandmother on my father's side was Arawakan Indian. She was Native American. For those of you who don't know what Arawakan is, Taino. Actually, Taino is a subset of the Arawakan. My great-grandfather was from Spain. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed from Spain, fell in love with a native woman, and tada-bing, here I am a couple generations later. My grandfather on my mother's side was, my great-grandfather on my mother's side was from Spain. But my great-grandmother on my mother's side was from Ireland. But they originated from the north of Scotland a few hundred years before. So, what am I? Do I look Hispanic and Latino? I mean, I've gotten everything from Russian to Arabic. I don't know. I say that I am predominantly Caucasian with a splash of coffee in there, right? I'm predominantly white, but if you do put me under the sun, I tan very easily. But I also go back very easily. So I don't know, maybe I'm a chameleon or something. Or maybe I have some reptilian DNA. I don't know. All right, but look, leave your comments below. What do you think? I think that to claim racism for Hispanic or racism for Latino is just stupid. It's just stupid. You cannot do that. What am I? What race am I? I'm American. I'm American. That's a race. I'm an American. Yeah, I think that right now there are subsets of, and each time you use the word sub, somebody says, you're racist. No, but whatever. There's subsets of humans where you can have different, I don't want to say species because that's the wrong term, where you can have different races belonging to one civilization, right? America's a very strange experiment in history that's, I hope succeeds, but it's probably not going to succeed since the black people are now self-segregating. I mean, Martin Luther King Jr. would have been he must be just rolling in his grave right now, wondering what the hell are you guys doing? And it amazes me that white liberal guilt has convinced black people that they should have all black dorms, all black graduations, all black inaugurations. Okay. Every single white nationalist or KKK, they're all going like, yeah, this is great. And the rest of us are just going like, oh, you morons. But you know what? Stupid is as stupid does, right? Can't change that. So anyway, hope you liked the discussion. Pick one of these little doohickey thingamabobs up. They're really, really good. Educate yourself. If you cannot do that, take this and just bang yourself over the head many, many, many times. Maybe you'll get the liberal out of you. Thank you for everything, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye.